I've seen the difference between having life insurance and not having it. As an agent, I paid out multiple death claims, so I've seen the impact that it does for families. So I have two boys,
Nice.
a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old.
Nice.
And my biggest belief is I brought them to this earth for a reason. And it's my obligation, my due diligence, my responsibility to provide, not only financially, but also with the right morals, the right habits, the right standards of life. Self-developing is the best thing you can do.
Right.
There's no greater return than working on yourself and investing in yourself. Bro.
I agree.
Who I am today, bro, if I look back and people today see me from high school,
They won't recognize you.
This isn't him.
Yeah, bro.
Different person.
And I wouldn't change anything. I've made so many mistakes, bro. Part of my success that has taken some time because I've made a lot of mistakes.
All right, what's going on, fam? Appreciate everybody checking in, tuning in to the MarVic podcast. We're back again this week. We got a new guest. And before we introduce him, business partner Victor Rodriguez. How you doing, brother?
Doing great. Feeling blessed and highly favored.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Who do we have here?
So today we have Luis Erazo. He is an expert in financial services. He's been in this journey for about 8 years as well, if I'm correct. And today we're going to pick his brain. He's a mastermind when it comes into this new wave of insurance and AI. And I feel like we could get a lot of great information from him as well. From today.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you guys for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I've been at it 9 years. Last month was
Okay.
my 9th year anniversary.
go.
Congrats.
Yeah,
9-year
I'm sold out
anniversary.
to what we do, bro.
that's right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what they say, 10 years doing something, bam, next you know, business just booms.
Just takes off.
Yeah, they say it takes 10 years to get that one
I
year.
got 2 years to go then. I'm getting there.
They'll call you an overnight success.
There we go.
Yeah, right, exactly.
10
But they don't
years.
see the years of work behind.
Right.
Now, well, thank you for coming, bro. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys. You
This
guys
is
have
the
a great spot.
Thank you, bro. This is the first time I'm meeting Luis. I'm definitely excited to, learn more about you. And I like what Victor just said, as far as what you're doing, like implementing like new technology, AI and all that. I really want to learn about that. So we appreciate you making the time, to come see us.
Definitely, yeah. And this is my first time actually meeting you in person as well.
Yeah,
so
bro.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought.
So we actually met over Zoom.
What's your story? How do y'all know each other?
So we actually started. Well, I started investing into a lead source, and Luis was on there. I think he had been on there a couple months before. I started in December. When
I was there since the beginning, bro. It was August of,
There it is.
I think, last year.
Okay, yeah.
2022. Got
About a
you.
year.
So
I know the lead source. We don't want to
yeah.
say the name, do we? No, we'll keep it.
That's
Keep it
okay.
in
confidential.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met him through there. He was very active on the chat. I would see him closing deals, and then at one point he was running trainings there. So I'm like, yo, this, I like his mindset. I like the way he represents
I
himself.
want to tune in and see what he's teaching.
Yeah. So I started following him on Instagram. I started, seeing the content that he creates, and I think it's very cool to see a Hispanic person doing that. Bringing awareness to our community and pretty much putting our people up on game. And what really touched me was your personal story of how you got introduced into the insurance business. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, like that's a testimony.
Yeah.
I want to hear all this. So
yeah.
what's your last name, by the way?
Erazo, so Erazo.
Erazo.
I'm Mexican, but because of the last name, people think I'm like
Central
what is-
American?
Yeah.
Or-
something like that. Yeah.
Well, mi tía es hondureña, last name Erazo as well.
Okay. Yeah, I've met
Honduran
more
people?
people from Honduras
With
with my last
Erazo,
name.
yeah.
Well, that's why I asked
might
you,
be
like, are you
actually.
from-
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
I gotta check the tree. And
Yeah.
That's why I was asking, are you?
Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
I was like, are you fully Mexican, or I was
Yeah,
thinking
bro,
maybe half and
100%.
half.
That's what they say. So.
You speak Spanish,
Yeah,
obviously,
bro,
fluently.
100%,
Got you.
Born and
Okay.
raised here in L.A.
I was born in Mexico. I was brought here at 3. I
Okay.
was 3 years old, and lived in Orange County all my life.
Nice.
Okay.
What part of Mexico does your family?
Morelos,
Morelos.
Cuernavaca.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chinelos,
Say it again.
Cochinelos.
Cuernavaca.
My sister's boyfriend's from there. His family's from there.
Ah, okay.
Cuernavaca.
Yeah.
Maybe they know each other?
Maybe.
Nah.
Primo.
George or
Isaac.
Isaac?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. So you get to Orange County. You do the whole school thing. At what age did you get introduced to insurance?
So this was back in 2014, October 2014. I actually way before that. So my story is 14 years ago.
Yeah, let's talk
One
about
of my
that.
uncles got a life insurance policy,
Mm-hmm.
but at the beginning he didn't want to. Like I mentioned, I'm from Mexico, so us Hispanics, Latinos,
We're a tough crowd.
yeah, bro. Somos tercos. It's
Yeah.
like we
That's a
think
scam.
everybody's
Don't
coming
sell
after
me insurance,
us. Yeah.
bro. No.
It's like, bro, what are they gonna take from us? We don't
Or
have
el
anything. You know?
Sancho. No le quiero dejar dinero al Sancho.
Yeah,
things like
so
that.
all these limiting beliefs and excuses to not take responsibility to take care of your family.
Lack of
I
knowledge.
think that's
Yeah.
what it is. So my uncle's friend was an agent,
Mm-hmm.
and he followed up for like 3 months.
Mhm.
My uncle was working 2 jobs, like typical Hispanic Latinos.
Right.
And his friend told him, you know what, bro? Like, this is the last time I ask you, but just know that you're working 2 jobs.
Just know you're gonna die.
You're married.
Mhm.
You have a daughter. The moment you pass away, they're losing everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a breadwinner.
Yeah, he was the breadwinner. So they had that conversation, and my uncle made the decision to get life insurance.
Mhm.
But then life happens in different ways. He ended up losing his only daughter when she was 10.
Wow.
So my little cousin passed away. Started with
Rest in peace.
just went into coma, never made it out. And
Sorry to
then-
hear that, brother.
No, thank you, bro. So that happened. Thankfully, because of the life insurance, he got a check for $20,000.
He
So
had
it's-
life insurance on
He
her.
had life insurance on her.
Okay.
You got
Child
a child
rider.
rider. Yeah. Wow.
And when he showed that check to the whole family, everybody said, "Man, this thing actually works. Like, they didn't lie to you."
These companies actually pay out.
Yeah. So thankfully that happened. Obviously, very unfortunate. My cousin passed away,
Right.
but because of that, it was a testimony that it worked. So then, fast forward, 95% of my family made the decision to get life insurance, and then 4 years later, I call him brother because he's like I was sharing. I'm the oldest. I have 2 younger sisters, but we worked together at a restaurant for 3 straight years,
Mhm.
and he ended up passing away. He was 22.
Mm.
And
Very
luckily, he had life insurance at a policy for $150,000.
That also paid out.
Yeah, his mom is my dad's sister, so mi tia.
Mm-hmm.
She has diabetes, didn't take care of herself. She lost her sight.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, lost her son. But luckily, because of life insurance, she got a check for $150,000.
Mm.
Wow.
And that's when I was like, damn, bro, like this thing actually works. I was 19 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Single mother raised us. So I told my mom one day after having dinner, made some enchiladas and everything. And
Yeah, that's my
I
favorite.
said, hey, Mom, like, we need to talk about something, and it's serious. She's like, what is it?
Mhm.
I was like, you need life insurance. She's like, that's loco. Like, you're just going to kill me.
Were you
Take the money."
selling it at that point? Not
No, I
yet.
wasn't,
No.
bro.
Okay. Okay.
I
He's
wasn't.
just, he's
just
a-
From what
a
you
believer
saw,
now. at
like,
this
hey, you
point,
got to
yeah.
do this
Yeah,
because if
bro,
something
so-
happens.
Correct.
And you were 19. He was 22, right? So he was
Yeah.
older. Okay, so you
So-
seen that example, and you were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, damn."
So I've seen it twice, even though I was young.
Mhm.
Like, I pay attention to things.
Mm-hmm.
So what I saw, I said, hey, man, this thing actually makes sense. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how old you are. You need to get it.
Mhm.
Because you just never know when it's going to happen. So she's like, no, you're crazy. I was like, Mom, like, don't tell me it doesn't work because we've seen it twice. Like,
Right.
don't come with that
We've
BS
seen the
here.
checks. Yeah.
So long story short, I convinced my mom. I called my uncle. He said, hey, call this guy. I set
Call
up
a
an
friend.
appointment. He came to my house. 45 minutes later, I got my policy. My mom got hers.
Oh,
At
cool.
age 19.
Yeah, at 19.
She got you one too.
And then I asked him, I was like, hey, bro, how much do you make
he
for
said-
doing this?
You got your own policy, right?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
my own.
Oh, you got your own, like
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
were the payer, the owner, and all
Correct,
that.
yeah.
Nice, good for you.
I was paying
Not a lot of 19-year-olds that do that.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Uh-uh.
bro, I was paying like $35 for like
Cheap.
I was gonna say that.
400,000 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
believe that.
400,000.
Yeah,
So when
something
I
like
got mine, I was 20 years old. 250,000 of coverage. I was paying about maybe $25.
Yeah, so
I'm paying 22 on one, like
So
500.
yeah, you've been having that since
yeah,
fresh
Back
out of
in the day,
college.
yep.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
bro.
$500,000, $22. I got it at 22.
Yeah, and that's the
Why
thing.
not?
Yeah.
That's the thing. A lot of people think it's crazy expensive.
Mhm.
Like sometimes
Right.
before
It can be
Depending
Right.
on your health
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Age. Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that happened. I asked the guy, hey, bro, how much do you make for doing this? I was delivering ice at that time. I was a driver. He's like, well, takes out his pad of paper. He does
Started
the
breaking down the
This is how it all
calculations.
works. If
Times
Joe
12,
pays
Yeah.
75% advance.
He's like, you can start part-time. I was, dude, sign me up. And that's how I started, bro.
Nice,
Damn.
nice.
So at that point, were you looking for an opportunity, or were you such like a believer in the product where you said, "Hey, I want to start,"
It was
pretty much
selling
spreading
it.
the word
Yeah,
as well.
It was both, bro. I played sports all my life. Number one,
What'd you play?
soccer.
Nice.
Well, soccer's my passion, but I'm
Who's your squad? Who's your squad?
Barcelona?
Barcelona.
There it is, my
You know
man. Let's go.
Give
Let's
this
do
man.
it.
Can we get the good camera on him? Because that's.
So yeah, bro, and then so yes, I have a huge passion and conviction for what it was, and then two, I was just looking for an opportunity. I've always
19 years old, right?
Push myself to be better, and I said, hey, why not? Something new.
Yeah,
That's good, man. I mean, it's very rare to see 19-year-olds with that mentality and that mindset that's also taking leadership in the household to say, hey, mom, you need this. Not only that, but I'm going to pay for my own policy, because so what I've seen is like, all right, mom, I'll get insurance if you pay for it.
They'll be the rider.
Or I'll
They'll be the child rider.
I'll be the child rider.
But you had your own.
Yeah, I had my own sense.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't know about life insurance till I got introduced to an actual company.
Right.
And saw the same thing as you, but it just happened a little bit later.
Okay.
But I got my policy probably, I think it took me a little bit longer because I never saw what you saw. We never went through like somebody having life insurance, and even to this day, just to keep it real, like it's still a little bit tough to convince some of my family because they think these big companies are
there to scam them.
They're there to make more money and not really take care of us.
Right.
But and unfortunately, there are some companies out there that do that, that they're in the business of not paying out, but. Thankfully, the companies you dealt with, you actually got to see evidence of like, yo, this is some real money you can cash out. So, like you said, it's very unfortunate that happens. But, at the same time, having that financial safety just to help in moments like that when someone dies, like.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the difference between having life insurance and not having it. As an agent, I paid out multiple death claims. So I've seen the impact that it does for families.
Right.
So. Seeing both examples is like, bro, why wouldn't you get something?
You know what, man, in my 8 years of selling insurance, I've only paid one death claim, which is a good thing. I would say.
It's good to be your client, bro.
Yeah. So I paid out. What was that?
I said it's good to be your client.
Your clients don't die, in other words.
Yeah, So I paid one death claim for $150,000. And it was divided equally with the children, so each children got $50,000, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And just seeing that impact there, what that money can do for one at the time.
Yeah, but, I mean, everybody dies, right?
Yeah. Bro.
There's two things guaranteed in this life, and for those that don't know, number one is
taxes.
taxes.
About it, Vic. Talk about
we all got to pay our taxes. And number
Uncle
two,
Sam? Well, there's ways to avoid that. No, I'm just kidding.
As Trump. Right. So
next episode.
Yeah. So one thing is taxes, and the second thing that's guaranteed in life is death. So if we're gonna die, why not take out an insurance policy and leave our family behind with some money, right? So that's my mindset towards it. So my story is very similar to yours, man. I got introduced into insurance at the age of 19. I was 2015, and at the time I had no financial literacy. I knew nothing about IRAs, insurance, none of that.
Okay.
But going into the trainings and the meetings, I started opening up my mind and awareness of what's really going on outside of the road, right? So where our office was located, it was in Bell Gardens. And for those that know Bell Gardens, it's not the safest city. And I would always see signs,
BG?
people holding signs, BG, of like, hey, can you donate so-and-so's funeral? And so that started opening my mind, like, damn, death is real.
Yeah, bro.
And I also had a friend who passed away in high school. He was 16 years old, and I remember doing a car wash for him to raise money for his funeral. So my mindset at the time was like, oh, when somebody passes away, it's normal to do a car wash or comida to raise money.
That's just what people do.
Right. Like I never knew life insurance existed, right, until I got introduced into the company. And so at age 20, I was 19 turning 20, I got my own life insurance policy.
Okay.
Oh, so y'all got it at the same age.
$250,000. I still remember that, paying about $25. And as I started getting older, I started realizing, life insurance is based on your health and your age. So I increased my policy to $500,000 at the age.
Because it's going to get pricier later on. You might as well do it now.
At the age of 25, I said, screw it. I'm going to go for the mill. So then I increased my coverage to $1 million.
Can I be your beneficiary?
Right. So I started thinking, okay, if I pass away, how do I want to break this down? I was like, $250,000 each makes sense. Yeah. So I got $1 million in coverage.
Don't forget about us, bro. Put us in there.
You don't have any kids, do you?
10%. No kids. Okay. No kids.
How old are you,
man?
I'm 28.
28.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm 28 too. So when's your birthday?
Yeah, y'all.
January.
I just turned 28. You're turning
January,
29
bro.
then.
Yeah.
So we're a couple months
You're a little
apart.
bit older.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, you just turned 28.
Yeah, I just turned
yeah,
28.
yeah.
I feel like I'm 30.
Partying, bro. I saw that.
Too much fun. He thinks since he has life insurance, he could just do whatever he wants now.
Careful, bro.
Nah, man, it's some real stuff what you talked about, bro. And I was just thinking, like, what do you guys think that, like, why is it that if we want to talk about our community, our culture, our people, Latinos, Hispanic, in your experience, what have you seen that, like, makes it so hard? I know we're talking about, like, they think it's a scam and stuff, but in your guys' opinion, like, what is that one thing where, you know what, this is what I've seen the most, that this objection, that if we can overcome this, we can make a believer out of people. But what have you guys experienced? Like,
I've come to realize that it's actually three things.
oh,
One
you're
of
ready.
three
I was
things.
about to say three things
points
too.
right here.
So one of three things. One, people don't make the time to go actually seek the information.
Right.
They don't think it's important.
Yeah. So I
But
tell
why? Like,
so I tell my people, it's like, I mean, now it's like 70% of my clients are Spanish speaking.
nice. Okay.
So I tell them, like, hey, you don't wake up on a Saturday or Sunday and say, hey, viejo, vieja, hay que ir a buscar un seguro de vida.
Right.
Let's go look for life insurance.
I don't think
You're
that's
thinking about ordering carnitas, menudo, and all that.
watching, Barcelona.
Yeah. So
Clásico.
that's one. Two, they think it's too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, like you said, it could be.
Mhm.
But it depends, And then three, they just think they're never going to need it. But in
Right.
reality, like Vic was talking about, it's the first sure thing in life.
Yeah.
It's
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
you got 3 points as well.
Yeah, my 3 points were very similar to his.
My one thing I want to throw out there is, like, as you were talking, Victor, I was thinking, like, when I got involved with the company where Victor and I met, one of the things for me is that I didn't realize, and it ties into actually your first point of knowledge, where I just didn't know that when somebody dies, it's expensive.
Right.
You need money to bury somebody, or whether it's a cremation. And I know it's weird, like, he's 28, I'm 31. We're talking about, like, death and stuff. But this is what we do. We're life insurance agents, and we really believe in, our product. And like we said, everybody dies. So, there's a debt there, an automatic debt that, hey, somebody dies. What's the average funeral cost?
I would, if you want to have a semi decent, I would say 25,000.
25 G's. I mean, I know a lot of people, most of my family, if not everybody, I know they don't have 25 G saved.
Right.
So it's like, what happens? And I think that's what you were saying, like the GoFundMes, the car washes. It's the normal thing to do, but instead of doing that, you could just get a life insurance policy.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be
And
so
it would
much
be
better.
cheaper too.
Cheaper, and you ain't got to go through all
Than
that.
trying to
quicker
raise
money.
25 grand in a week.
That's if you raise it.
Yeah, that's if you raise it.
Yeah. What are your points, bro?
My number one point was lack of education, and it's understandable, not to justify it, but I put myself in their shoes in a sense where, our parents come from a different country, and in their country, life insurance is probably never spoken of. So then you come to the United States and you kind of have those beliefs already, and also, you're thinking. One of the things that I've heard, introducing insurance to a client was like, oh, it's just like auto insurance. If I crash, they're going to try to screw me over and not pay out. So they have a bad taste in their mouth, right? Due to auto insurance.
Stigma.
That stuff. So my belief was, as long as we can provide the facts are always going to be the facts, what's on black and white. So my number one question was, if I could show you, a check, a death claim, that our company has paid out, would that make you a believer?
Real money to real
money,
people.
and also, let me show you the facts of this company. What's their death claim ratio? When somebody dies instantly.
That's important.
So, for me, it's one thing. If I could show you the facts, and the facts are the facts, there shouldn't be any reason why you shouldn't move forward, right? But sometimes there's still some people that just.
And priorities too, right? Because
Priorities, yeah.
I mean,
I had a guy tell me once, and this is a true story. He told me, I cannot get life insurance because my budget is for my beers. And
For
I'm
his
not.
modelos?
Yeah. He said, I'm not
did
willing.
he have kids and stuff?
Yeah, he had kids. 2 kids. He said, my budget, my beers, and I'm not willing to let go of that budget for this.
What do you say to that, bro? Sorry, bro. I got my modelos. I need that.
You can, bro. I mean, there's a reason why there's broke people and rich people.
Yep.
There's a reason
Is
why.
beer's the problem?
Nah, man, it's
Just
mindset.
priorities, mindset.
I'm
It's
just playing.
so. I mean, you can't. It's like you could take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I would leave a house like in that sense. I would leave and I would say, hey, I did my job.
Yeah.
You know, I look at it like the Bible. You know, Jesus preached. Not.
It's up to you now.
Yeah, it's up to you not to believe or
Now
not.
you know the truth.
Exactly. So that's how I would look at it. I was like, yo, my job was to present this information. I hope you left with some type of knowledge, and whenever you're ready. Sometimes it's not your time, and unfortunately, sometimes it's too late as well.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I think some of the most like heartbreaking for me have been the people that really want it, but they truly don't have the budget for it. Because, you know, it's like not everybody's rich. I don't know about y'all, but I think we probably had similar backgrounds, like when it comes to like economic, you know, upbringing. Like my family, a lot of my family's still poor. And priorities is like, yeah, I do want life insurance, but I got to pay rent this month.
Right.
You know, so those are the tough ones because it's like, damn, like, you know, even if we do a small policy, like there's just no way we go through the budget, you know, but we pray those people, you know, can be in a better financial position and later on get some. Yeah. What is your I was watching some of your reels.
Okay.
You know, and you're talking about I think one of your latest ones is you talk about, you know, leaving money like you can make your kids millionaires. Okay. Like what's that all about?
So I'm a father of two. I have two boys.
Nice.
A 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old.
Nice.
And my biggest belief is I brought them to this earth for a reason. And it's my obligation, my due diligence, my responsibility to provide, not only financially, but also with the right morals, the right habits, and the right standards of life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But back to your question, though. Like, I have $1 million policy. Because I want to make sure that, like, obviously I drove here. I was sharing with Vic, like, damn, bro, it's a lot of traffic. Like,
where'd you come from?
Orange.
OC?
Yeah.
What part exactly?
10 minutes from Disney.
Got you.
So right by the Honda
a lot
Center.
of people
and
over there.
Yeah, bro. I have to go visit you, man, when I'm on that side of town now.
Yeah, bro.
Nice restaurants.
Go to Disney together.
Yeah. Like the boys.
So I have $1 million policy, and I just have the peace of mind that, like,
anything happens.
I'm driving and I'm texting. I know you shouldn't do that, but
I'm telling you, bro, y'all acting comfy now that y'all have life insurance. He's over here partying. You're driving with your knees.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
so it's that
get $1 million in coverage. You'll
it's
move
that
a little
responsibility that and peace of mind.
Yeah.
That, you know what, bro? If God says today's the last day, maybe on the drive back, I know my kids are taken care of, and
you're ready.
They don't have to depend on anybody else to.
I like that you said that, because that's really how I move out here. You know, even before having $1 million in coverage, but now that I do have the mill, I every day I leave my house, I don't have that fear. My mindset today is like, if I die today, I know my family's gonna be taken care of. It's a peace of mind.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter. Like, God, if today's a day, I'm ready.
And you don't even have kids, but this is for your family.
This is for my family, yo.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, like I said, the way I have it set up, everybody will get $250,000. That's $250,000. If you got a check for $250,000, right? I put myself, let's say my sisters, yo, that could go to a house. That could go to fund
that's
a business.
easily a down payment for a house. Any
for
house.
$1 million house.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. You know, my sisters, I know they'll be well taken care of. I have my older sister that just started her family. You know, if I die today, she'll be well off tomorrow. You know, I have Rocio, I have my little sister as well. So, you know, it's funny because I tell my little sister, you know, we're technically millionaires, right? You know, she's young, she doesn't really know.
Just don't kill me yet.
Right. So I'm like, we're technically millionaires, you know, because she doesn't know that obviously I have insurance, I have this, but outside of that, she also has her college accounts, you know, preparing for her future, you know, where if she decides to go to college or not. Investments, yeah. She's already set up. So she doesn't know that she already has money working for her, you know, so when she hits 17, 18 years old, she got money coming to her.
That's awesome to have the next generation already be steps ahead.
And that's where that financial knowledge comes into place, because I didn't know about all this stuff before. Knowing it now, I'm making sure, you know, our next generation, my niece as well, has don't quote me on this. I don't know if she has a savings account. If she doesn't, we got to get it. But I know my sister put her like on her credit as an authorized user. And for those that don't know, once you do that, your kid's credit starts building up as well. So once they turn 18, They already have a 800 credit score. So it's really just learning the game and how it works so we could prepare the next generation.
What's up with us not learning this stuff in school? Where'd you go to school?
Westminster High School.
Ooh,
That's where I graduated from.
bro, Westminster. You know how I know Westminster? When I have to go to court and pay tickets and talk to a judge.
Beach Boulevard.
Wow. Why are you driving too fast, man?
Because I got life insurance.
Wow.
But yeah, okay. So you went to Westminster.
Yeah.
Why are they not teaching this? What's going on? You want us to be dumb?
So I just went 2 weekends ago. I went
To your high school?
No, I went to a master class
Oh.
about money.
Okay.
So actually 3 weeks ago, I'll take it back. But 3 weeks ago, I went to an event called Aspire event.
Oh, I know Aspire.
Yeah, so Dan Fleischman puts it together. Andrew Cordell, Eddie Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
and they're big on just changing generations, educating people on money. And Andrew puts together a Money Is Masterclass, so where he's educating people on just increasing your financial IQ. And basically, he talked about, and the way he explained it has never been explained to me, and I've been in the industry for 9 years, is that he said that money is a game, and there's two teams. There's the contributors and the creators. The contributors are what we are taught at school. Just open up a 401k. I mean, start a tanda.
Paycheck
Things
to
like that.
paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck. And then the creators on this side, bro, it's the ultra successful, wealthy people
They create the
that
rules.
know how to play the game.
Yeah.
And the rules of each team are the complete opposite.
Yep.
So
yep.
I think that the reason why we aren't taught is because there's meant to be a separation.
I was just about
And
to
the
say
people that actually want that success, whatever it is for them, we're talking about the financial side of things, but it's because you're going to go out, make it happen, create it, meet the right people, take
So
the right opportunities. And
So you got to go out and get it. So do you guys believe anybody can do it? Like if you grow up in a place where they don't teach you the financial literacy,
Can you go out
you're a
and learn?
contributor. Can you become a creator?
yes,
You believe that wholeheartedly?
I believe that.
I do too.
I believe it.
And you're talking about, so what I heard is like it's intentional.
Yes.
Like they want to, keep the two groups.
It's a system, and the system isn't designed for us to win. We got to go out there and learn the information.
I kind of I don't know how I feel about, like, do you guys like the system? You don't like it?
I don't like it, but it is what it is, because if we look at other communities, they know the game and they teach their kids the game. The only problem,
But I mean, you could argue that those people in that community that are teaching their kids the game, they were contributors at some point and they became creators.
it's just the culture, to be honest with you, because look, I have a friend who's Japanese, right? And this is what he told me. When a Japanese person comes from Japan to America, number one, they all get together and they raise the money to bring the person collectively. When the person
Latinos,
gets
listen
here,
to this.
when the person gets here from Japan, right, they already have a certain amount of money raised that they give the person.
Okay.
And they say, hey, Luis, here's 100,000. Go open up your liquor store. Go open up your business.
Genius.
And just like that. Now your job is, once you start profiting from your business, we're going to do the same thing and repeat the same cycle. So when somebody from Japan or from another country comes, I'm talking about the Japan culture because this is what was shared with me.
Yeah.
When they get here, they're already coming in with money for a business. So their mindset isn't, I need to go, go get a job, do this, all this. They're coming with
Ownership.
They're coming with ownership, and they're gonna reproduce that same cycle. Now, us being Hispanics, I feel like it's always a competition. It's a lot of ego. It's a lot of instead of pushing each other up, we push each other down because it's a dogfight. No one wants to see each other do better than the other. So I feel like as a culture, if we could really come together and help each other out,
learn together,
and put the egos aside, we could do a lot of great things.
Yeah, that's our race would be more leveled up. And one of the things I remember, so like the thing is that a lot of major schools, colleges, a lot of the funding comes from banks too, right? So banks, they definitely don't want us to be financially literate. Why? Because the moment we learn that a Roth IRA or a mutual fund does better than their CDs, we're not going to put our money in there.
Yeah.
It's a business. It's a game.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is a game. You're absolutely right. And it's been intentionally designed to like, hey, we want to keep the majority of the people on the contributor side because that's how we are going to make most of our money. But, there's different approaches. Like it's that one is weird because it's like, let's intentionally keep them in the dark. If only they would realize like the more we work together, the more money everybody can make and, get further.
Yeah. And then adding to what you just touched on, bro, the other bad part about these two teams is that for the most part, we're on the contributor side.
Right.
You start making the shift and you start gravitating towards the creator side.
Mm-hmm.
But then your boy Vic, your mom, your dad, your aunt, you tell them about the things you're learning, and it's like, no, mijo, like, they're lying to you. And then a lot of people don't jump teams because the people they know, and that's why they say you become the average of the people you surround yourself with. That's one of the things. That you're trying to make the change, you're learning new things, but because your aunt and all the people you know from the hood, from where you grew up, are on that contributor side, you just don't separate, and it just keeps everyone there.
Was it hard for you to separate yourself?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, big time.
What, who, maybe no names, but like what, I mean, I've talked about it before, where like definitely my dad was the toughest. Okay. I went to college. I did 4.5 years. I got my degree. I came home. I took a little break. My cousin tells me about financial services. I'm out here working in sales. My dad is whooping my ass. Like he's not physically, but he's like, what the F are you doing? Like, bro, you got a degree. He would point, and my grandma still has it, and she has it framed up. In the living room. She's very proud, right? And he was the biggest like person that tested me. And like you said, it's like, no, what are you doing? Like, go get a job. And disclosure, nothing wrong with people getting degrees, working in sociology. Nothing wrong with that. Just personally, I was drawn to this opportunity, and it was calling my name. Like, okay, being your own boss sounds attractive. Making, having an unlimited, opportunity to make money here with no cap. So, I feel you on that, because my dad, funny enough, he was self-employed. Like he was a painter, and he had like a small team, but he was mostly self-employed. So looking back on it now, he didn't really see what I saw, but it was a make it or break it type of moment. Where if I would have let him win, doubt, I wouldn't be here.
Which goes to Luis's point, where a lot of people allow themselves to be influenced by that. Where they say, "Oh, you know what,
You're right.
my dad is right.
Yeah.
I should go, do this," and that kills dreams and that kills opportunity for them. So, I mean,
who was your?
Yeah, who was yours?
Name and where do they live?
And this is after proof as well.
Just social and
Yeah.
for me, it was just the friends. So, like I said, I'm a huge soccer guy.
Yeah.
So I was playing soccer 4 times a week.
You still play, by the way?
I still play, bro.
You have to take him with you.
Yeah, I play Mondays and Wednesdays.
I play Thursdays and Sundays.
Perfect. We play with each other. We link up after this.
So yeah, it was like, bro. Sometimes it would be like, man, I have an appointment, but I got a game, and it's like, hey guys, I
gotta go score some goals because they might still recruit me.
What the hell? Like, what are you doing, bro? We need you. Come on, like.
Leave that alone.
That thing, like,
I'll buy insurance after the game.
Yeah. And sometimes, to be honest,
talk to the ref.
I would go to the game, So to
Yeah.
me, it was those friends that, like, fuck, my boys, bro. How am I gonna let them down? Like,
Not the
So how'd you
boys.
cancel?
match.
How'd you
boys.
cancel that appointment?
He didn't have an appointment.
No, he just said he had.
No, I had an appointment.
Yeah, he
He
said he
would
had.
leave appointments for the game.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, see, I'd go to the game if I had no appointment. That's easy.
Yeah.
But if I got a money making,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
bro,
you were
so-
different. You were different. Okay.
And the thing is that, which I was gonna actually ask you guys this, is that when you start, bro, at 19, I had no experience whatsoever.
Right.
Like, bro, you got a degree, and
yeah.
I mean, you're
It was
in
hard.
sales, so it's different, bro. Like, you
Yeah.
came in with a little bit older with more experience.
More wisdom, more experience.
More discipline, and
Right.
knowing like what work looks like. But sales, no. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, he had zero experience in
Yeah.
it.
Gotcha.
I think that was your first ever.
That was my
job.
first sales. Oh, actually, no. You know what? I sold knives.
Oh yeah.
I sold knives. Cutco,
Yeah.
yeah. You sold knives too?
No, I did.
I
Yeah,
don't.
bought some.
I'm trying to think. That was during college. Somebody called me, and yeah, bro. I ended up in an office in Santa Monica. Some guy, tall white guy, looked very successful. Like it was a presentation on knives, bro. And that was it was such a good presentation. We're like, you wanted to sell some fucking knives, And then it was a universal hand grip, like unlimited warranty. They had these scissors that cut through a penny in a row. Crazy. That was my first sales. I was good too because I grew up with.
So you did have experience then.
I did have a little bit experience, but it was a little bit unfair. I kind of sucked because people bought out of pity for me.
Oh, okay.
Because I was young and I went to a school with like rich kids. I got some scholarships and stuff, so I'd present to them, and it was so uncomfortable. I got a job. Can I talk to you about these knives? I straight up. So watch this. Like, this is a true story. My best friend at the time, Noah Lee, one of my best friends, his mom, Deirdre, I remember it was yesterday. We're in the kitchen. I have my Prezo. I do my thing. She was like, look, I don't need no fucking knives. I don't need no knives, but, I'm going to help you out. I'll take the cheapest set. I said, you know what? Nah, don't do that. I appreciate you doing that, but I want you to get the knives because you want them. I turned the sale down. Yeah. They were going to buy. I was like, fuck this. I'm not selling knives.
See, you had skills.
I had a little bit of skills, but,
He had enough skills to say nah.
I mean, I felt, she was honest with me. I'll be honest with you. Like, you don't want the knives? All good. No problem. Bro. I appreciate you.
And what I was going to say is that, so I was 19, bro. I've worked, valet parking, restaurants, dishwasher, cook, UPS, any freaking job that would just take me. So coming in, and that's what I was talking about, making that switch from contributor to creator is that, like, I came into this business not knowing anything. Bro, I spent a year being able to get out of my shell and just talk to people.
Yep.
I was going to touch on that with you.
Development.
Continue.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is, which you were talking about your dad, that he was self-employed.
Yeah.
So he was kind of saying that, like, no, don't do it. So kind of pushing away maybe from the opportunity.
Well, look, to his point, like, the truth is I was also broke.
Okay.
Like, I think it's one thing if you go into sales and you do your thing, you start making money, they're not going to say much. Like, now I take care of my dad and my little brother.
That's awesome.
Fully. Yeah, it's amazing. Thanks to sales.
Right.
There's nothing to say now. Yeah. It's like, oh, gracias.
I told you it was a good opportunity.
Right. I knew you'd make it. Like, I was your number one supporter. Okay, Dad.
Yeah.
But I wasn't making money. So I do understand. Like, I picture myself. Like, how would I be? So results do the best talking. But I get where he was coming from.
Yeah.
And one of the things, just to keep it a buck, like back then, I couldn't differentiate. Like, my dad kind of became my enemy, which I hate to say, but back then I wasn't as mature. I wasn't as, knowledgeable and understanding where he's coming from, right. Where I saw him as my enemy. Like, oh, you don't want me to win? You're my dad. Yeah. What the? You're not.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you're not even. It's just you're not my friend. Like, you don't even. So it got ugly. But learn. As you develop, it's like, oh, you know what? My dad just wanted what's best for me. Right. He thought school was the best for me. Okay. So, he was in his eyes, he's looking out for me. But,
right. And actually, what I was gonna say, bro, is that so your dad being self-employed, having a business to a certain extent, even not a huge company, but this whole idea of becoming your own boss, having the freedom of time, sounds sexy, but it isn't like a easy thing to do.
No.
So maybe for him, it was like, man, it's been so tough for me. I don't want my son.
Let me look out for my son. I don't want him to go through.
Don't go through that,
Right. That's fair.
So I was gonna say, what are your guys' thoughts about just being self-employed now? And
I'll go first on this. So
is it really sexy? Bottom line,
it's work. It's work.
It's
hard work. I'll tell you that much. And your biggest. I don't want to say enemy, but your biggest challenge is always going to be yourself, your beliefs, and the loudest voice is always going to be yourself. In my experience, coming into insurance, I used to work as a dishwasher at a country club. From a dishwasher, I became a salad boy, worked the grill. So I came from restaurant, from the food industry, right? And I remember I would bust my ass off, and I'll work maybe like 9 hours, 10 hours to just make $11 at that time. and I was busting my ass off, right? So then a thought would always come to my mind where it's like, yo, if I could work this hard for someone else, why can I not do it for me? Yeah. Right? I just needed an opportunity. Insurance gets introduced to me. I see it. It took me 3 times to pass my state exam, but I never saw that as a opportunity why I shouldn't do this. Every time I didn't pass my exam, I would still show up to the meetings, and I was learning. I looked at it as school. I'm a freshman here. You know, I got to soak up as much knowledge as I can. Finally, I passed my state exam. I already knew what the game was about. I understood it. I had a clear understanding. And I started making sales, right? So being self-employed, the same work you're going to do at a job, you're going to have to do for yourself. The only difference here is that you don't got somebody on top of you telling you what to do, when to do it. Yeah. You got to be disciplined yourself and have that that structure for you where you're going to, put in the work. Yeah. And here the work is mental. It's not physical, right? What are we doing here? We're talking to people. We're teaching them. We're educating them. So for me, being self-employed is good in that sense because you don't got somebody on top of you. But it could be a blessing or a curse, because now you're facing these challenges. Your business is going to expose you who you are as an individual. And you're either going to learn to grow, decide to grow, or you're going to say, yeah, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to go back to the job, and this isn't for me.
Something more comfy,
right? But I also do believe that when you go into business, learning this from firsthand experiences, that when I went to business, I left my job right away. I got my license, made my first sale. I was like, yo, screw this, I'm out. Peace.
I made it.
I was like, yo, I made it, right? Little did I know is that, there's no more money coming in. Sales stopped.
Where's my next sale?
Exactly,
Where's
right?
my mom's sale?
So my advice would someone that's looking into business or going into business is, if you have a job right now, that's great. Keep your expenses low, save your money. And if you want to start a business or go into business for yourself, save that money and use that money to fund that business. But make sure you at least have 3 to 6 months of savings. So if a rainy day comes, you're not stressing out. You're not thinking like I was. I was like, where the fuck is my next sale going to come? People, we call it commission breath, right? People can feel when you're just trying to make a sale.
Desperate.
And I put myself in that position. And I realized, like, the last thing I want is to make a sale just to, just for my needs. So I put myself in a position, learning later, experience, save your money. And I tried it again. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say no to this opportunity. But right now, Victor's not ready for business. Victor needs to go back to a job. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that was my self-talk there. And that was my reality where I was like, yo, you're 20 years old. You're 21. There's still a lot of shit you don't know. Right? You jumped on this a little too quick. It doesn't mean you're not going to make it, but now you got some experience. And if you have to go to a job to fund this business, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Gotcha.
That's my take.
What's the question? Like, if self-employed, is it sexy?
Pretty much. The honest truth of.
You know what's sexy? Work ethic is sexy.
Look, like, to me, 100% is it sexy. That's probably not the first word that would come to mind when I think about being self-employed. But absolutely. I mean, in the beginning, I think I have a reel on this on my Instagram as well. And I talk about like things they don't tell you about being your own boss. And I think one of the big things is that time management thing. Right. Where it's like, it sounds so sexy to be in control and like, oh, I get to be my own boss. I get to do what I want. Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym at 12. Oh, I'm a wake up at 9. I'm gonna wake up at 10. Oh, I'm gonna go to work when I want. Like that sounds great. It does. Right. But like, are you like financially okay if you do that? Because that's the thing. So when I first started, fell in love with that. I get to be my own boss. Nobody's gonna tell me what to do. I get to do what I want. It's this whole pride thing, this ego thing, this whole control, wanting to be in control. And it's like, I'm broke. So it ties into what he's saying. Unfortunately, where we came from, nobody really told us to get a job on the side. I wish. That's why I said that's beautiful advice, because it's real. Like, I got people right now. I'm talking to a recruit that I just got from Florida. She used to be in the car dealership game. And one of the things I told her is, like, take your time. Like, I want you to be ready. I want you to understand this is going to take time. being in business, being self-employed, it's like school. The journey never ends. The learning never stops. Right. And you're going to need money because in business, like, to fail forward means you're going to spend money and lose money. Mm-hmm. But the idea is that as you lose that money, it should hurt. You'll learn from that. You won't lose money like that again. You'll get better. And then, you start to make more money. So, yeah, bro, I mean, it's I wouldn't be here if I would have never taken, that leap of faith on myself to work for myself. I wouldn't have the business that I have, So, but I also, we talked about it. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but we also know that business isn't for everybody. Right. Being self-employed isn't for everybody. Like Victor's saying, if you lack structure, because there's some people, and I've met them. I've had people tell me, Marlon, I need someone to tell me what to do. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually think it's great that you're self-aware enough to know yourself that good. Yeah. Like, you know what? I need somebody to tell me what to do. That's how you function. That's how you roll. You know what I'm saying? But, we've been touching on that. Like, for that person that feels like, there's more and you want to take that step, I think number one, what he said, like, have money saved because, you will. It's a guarantee you will make mistakes. You will lose money. It's going to be a headache, but it's fun. Yeah. It's fun, bro, I think the biggest thing for me, the money, all that is great, what I'm able to do with the money, but it's the man who I am now. Yeah. And the person that I'm becoming, just the development that comes with wisdom and understanding and experience. Like, one of the things, bro, just to keep it a buck, like, I don't know about y'all, but I grew up very angry, super angry. In the hood, angry. My family, we're on Dureños, angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you look at me the wrong way. It's like we're just like ready to roll. That's not, I could be like that, but I'm like, you know what? That's not going to get me very far in business. Right. It's just not. So things like that where I'm able to work on my emotions and like, man, I really want to break his teeth, but you know what? That's not going to make me money.
Right. I like that you actually touched on that because, coming from where we come from, obviously, like, our backgrounds are very different. And there's things that in the streets that don't roll, in business. And so for me, transitioning too, where it's like, coming into business, there's certain things that I've learned, being out there in the streets and stuff like that. And in business, it's like, there's different ways to handle things, right? Yeah. And there's things that people do where out there, that, to truth be told, you end up in a trunk somewhere, Yeah. And now in business, it's kind of like, what you mean? Like, I can't do that. I can't put my hands on this person.
If my client doesn't want to buy from me, I can't just put him in the back of my car.
No, like, I'm saying, like, business partners. I'm not even talking about clients. Like, I'm talking about business partners. Like, like, coming into the game and all that stuff, like, 7 years, and to truth be told, I got done dirty a lot of times in business where I had just had to bite my tongue and just say, like,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. But it made me the man that I am today, where I realized that there was a certain maturity of me and understanding where I said, like, there was this peace of mind where I knew that they wouldn't get far because of what they did.
It's facts.
And I knew that, it's like I have the blueprint. You thought you took the blueprint and now you ran with it. And then you're going to crash because the blueprint's right here. I got the blueprint. Right. So, but there was times where I was just like, man, like, why would somebody do that?
It hurts.
And it hurts. Yeah. It hurts. It was betrayal. It was a lot of things. Right. But then in my mindset, my first reaction was kind of like, damn, I want to put my hands on this person, because that's what we were taught.
Yep.
It's kind of like, if you did that shit out here, you wouldn't be walking in the streets tomorrow. But now it's like, I can't do that.
I'm licensed.
I got to go get a lawyer.
Can't lose my license.
Yeah. So for me, transitioning was big. Obviously going from a corporate job, working, all that, the mentality in the streets and things like that. Now it's like, I'm reading books. I'm getting better. I'm becoming more self-aware. I'm learning how to use my words and how to use strategies in business, because that's really what you need in business. You got to, everything's up here. It's not.
You got to develop.
You got to develop mentally and learn how to strategize and move accordingly. So,
bro, 19, you started, you saw an agent come, you bought a policy, You asked him what his commissions were like. You like what you saw.
Right.
You got licensed. You're 28 now. It's been 9 years.
Yep.
You obviously did it part-time in the beginning too,
Yeah.
right? You were doing the valet and this?
I was doing restaurant, valet, and then this.
3 things.
Yeah.
When did you go full-time? You're full-time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you've been
am.
full-time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was like 3-4 years in.
3-4 years in. And what 2 things? Like, one, how did you know it was the right time, or maybe you didn't know? But what what made you go full time? And then what's your thing? Like, for me, I know for sure, like, my emotions, just anger specifically. For him, it's like, street Victor, got to tone it down. I also want to know, like, what's been your thing, like, that you'd have to overcome, and kind of put to the side as well.
Yeah. I'm a big family guy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Family's everything for me. Like even till now, sometimes playing soccer, bro.
The
Like
whole soccer.
there's a new guy on the team,
Okay.
and they try. They slide him kind of dirty, and it's like I just met him 5 minutes ago.
Wait, what you mean? Some new player on
I'm
your
saying,
team?
yeah,
And the opposing team slides him dirty?
yeah. And it's like, bro, I just met you 5 minutes ago, but just because you're wearing the same jersey as I
We're
am,
family.
we're family, bro.
Yeah. Blood in, blood out.
Yeah. So
Hey, I need you on the team.
so it's
You get him a jersey.
It's letting go of family. It was for me. It's letting go of family, bro. From friends, and I consider friends family, and it's like it's that part of, bro. You're doing that thing. Like, come on, bro. Like, you're still young. Like, let's go out. And the thing is, I haven't been a huge like. I don't drink. I don't do any drugs. I haven't been to a club like in fucking 7 years.
Nah,
or
you're a
something.
golden child, bro. You,
And when you went, I'm assuming you didn't like it.
Yeah, bro. I was like, what the fuck is
this
this?
is, this is loud as fuck in here.
Yeah.
My ears
So
hurt.
it was just soccer, bro, doing the right, being around my people, bro. And
Yeah. So you had to slowly let go of these people,
Yeah, bro.
but you still play soccer, so you still see them, but
yeah,
you don't
but
hang
now
out
it's
as
different.
much.
Yeah.
And now what? Do they respect you? Like, okay, he's serious, he's changed, he's a dad, like, or
Yeah.
do they still give you a hard time?
Nah,
Or-
bro, now it's different.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bro, like,
You're for real.
you fucking made it.
Yeah.
Which I still haven't.
Right.
But it's like,
But to
you
them-
didn't allow us to fucking derail you from
Yeah.
what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nah, that's real, bro. I mean, when you said that, probably the heart, yeah, like it's one thing, like emotions, because that's a personal thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the moms, the dads, the cousins, because it's hard. Like I don't want to get religious or anything, but I can't help but think of like Jesus, like, his own people, Jerusalem, like rejected him. His own people, people that he grew up with. Like once he decided to be on a mission and do God's work, it's like his own people didn't even want to be on his team anymore. Right. So that very, very real. That hit home a lot.
Everybody that doubted or ever said anything to me, I thank them today because honestly, it just helped me build thicker skin. It helped me build mental toughness, and I just thank you for not believing in me, because it only made me grind harder.
Yeah.
What do you think about going back to help those people? Like, is that something you guys think about, or do you feel like forget them? Like, where do you guys?
Yeah, so it's crazy this happened, but one of my first appointments being in the business was with a friend's dad. So 95% of my family had life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't go I had no freaking warm market.
Yeah, it's all been
So it's
used
like,
already.
Yeah. So I hit up a friend. I'm like, hey, bro, like, let me talk to your dad. I just need to do a presentation.
I need to tell him something.
Get his opinion, and I'm excited and things like that.
Yeah.
And eventually he's like, bro, I'll just give you his number. Like, you call him. I'm not going to ask
You
him.
deal with him.
Yeah,
So I called the dad.
that takes guts, by the way.
Yeah, bro. I called his dad. He's like, all right, stop by. And it was on the Halloween, bro.
Oof.
So I show up, and they're having like a Halloween party. He's like, all right, let's do it. Like, you got 10 minutes. Like, time is running.
Yeah,
So I do my little presentation,
No
bro.
pressure.
And I was brand new.
yeah, nervous,
Stumbling
everything.
through.
So he's like,
words
you know
and-
what, bro? Like, you suck at this.
Oh,
He
dang.
told me that. He's like, you just literally read off the brochure. Like,
Uh-huh.
what kind of sales guy are you? He's like, but just because you're my son's friend, like, I'll just get the smallest
little
policy
one.
for you. So similar to your story,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, fuck it, I'll take it.
Yeah, please.
I just
please.
wanted to show up with the result,
Right.
post
Hey, I
it
made a
and-
sale.
especially on Halloween,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but then that friend, he was one of the ones that kind of here and there threw some shade. But it's crazy, but his dad would call me every year. And he would like, hey, bro, my policy is increasing. Like, I'm going to cancel it. So at the beginning, I'd be like, nah, bro, like, you need it. Like, la ocupa, don't cancel it. So eventually, I was like, bro, if you want to cancel it, just cancel it. Yeah. So my birthday is January 7th. On January 6th, my boy texts me, hey, bro, I need help with my dad's life insurance. I was like, all right, they're finally going to cancel it, you know? I was like, oh, you
the
guys.
day has come.
He's like, you guys going to cancel it? He's like, nah, bro, my dad just died.
Oh, shit.
I was like.
Before your birthday?
Yeah, or like the day before. I was like, what the heck?
Damn.
Yeah. Like you're kidding, bro. He's like, nah, bro, like, my dad just died from COVID.
Oh, shit.
Like, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a couple years ago. And I was like, damn, bro. So I started the process.
And luckily, he still had it active, right?
Yeah, he still had it active.
Because you kept convincing him year after year.
Yeah.
Don't cancel it. And
so, I paid out the death claim. And it's crazy, but, you know, Dia de los Muertos. Bro, today, I'll show you the messages, but I had a dream with his dad, bro. Like, he came to freaking visit me or something.
Yeah.
But he's like, so I was, in my dream, it was so real. I was walking in my house, and then he was there in the corner. I was like, ¿Qué onda, jefe? ¿Cómo está? Because I knew him so well, you know?
Yeah.
From parties and hanging out. Yeah. And then he's like, hey, like, ¿Cómo está mi familia?
Damn.
This and that. Like, so it's kind of, I get a little emotional because it's like, damn, bro, that's a part of what we do. Yeah. So I reached out to my boy. I was like, hey, bro, like, your dad just came to visit me. Like, he's like, wait, what the hell? Like, why you? Like, why wasn't it me?
Why is coming to me? Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, bro.
He made
but
an impact in his life.
Because of life insurance.
Yeah, bro. I even forgot what I brought that up, but.
No, that's powerful. That's a powerful testimony of what we do as well. And I've been in a position where I had this guy trying to cancel. I mean, I remember, like, I knew him through my dad. He was a friend of my dad, and he was like, no, you know, he's from Guatemala. He goes, no, ya quiero cancelar esto. Chapin. And I remember looking him dead in his eyes, and I said, look, man, just because you're my dad's friend, I'm gonna advise you not to cancel. Lower it down to the minimum coverage, but don't cancel this. And I totally forgot whether he canceled or not. I thought he did, right? And this year he hit me up and to increase his coverage. And I was like, oh, you're still a client? Like, I thought you canceled. He's like, nah, man. Like, what you told me that day, it hit home. He's like, I did what you said just to lower the coverage. And he's like, but now, you know, as I'm older, my son's getting older, we got to increase this coverage. Yeah, so I feel that heart, you know, sometimes you just got to be real with the client.
Yeah, bro.
Like, one day you're going to need us.
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to touch on that. Like, do you guys find it hard to keep it real with your clients? Like, is that something that you do right off the bat? Or do you think it takes time for you? How do you guys feel about that?
For me, I like to build at least a little rapport
before you start talking to them.
Until I start keeping it real, you know, like, hey, real shit.
Off the record.
You need this, bro. Yeah. What about yourself?
For me, bro, I love people. I generate my own leads now, like I was sharing with you guys out there.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we need to unravel that, by the way.
So I call, strangers from obviously seeing my ad. From seeing my ad on Facebook, Instagram. And I just, Jose, ¿cómo está?
Talk to him like you already know them.
And it's like, hey, bro, like, it's so comfortable to talk to you because, like, it's the way you come off.
Yeah.
Like, very, like, your family, you know?
You're postured in a place where you truly care. People can hear that and feel that.
And that's what they say, bro.
I can sense it from you. Like, just met you, but I can tell, like, you're a good guy.
Yeah, thank you,
You mean
bro.
well, yeah.
And so I'm able to be real with them. Like, Jose, ¿cómo que no?
And they receive that well, too.
Yeah. So being able to, it goes back to what you just mentioned, being able to truly care and know that if they don't do this, they probably won't do it. I'm able to be real, and it's like,
because like you said too, commission breath. They also know.
They know
when you coming in, but you're not really listening. I'm like you, where my mindset is like, not only could this be the last time I talk to this person, but I truly do care, you know, and you know, I love people as well. I think that's something I've definitely learned from God, where people matter regardless of color, blah blah blah. Nothing matters. Like, people matter.
Yeah.
And just keeping it real, but in a loving way.
Yeah.
You got to know how to talk,
Yeah.
because
Right.
you can't
How to deliver the message.
you can't just go like, listen, dumbass, like
Anyway.
ain't nobody going like that,
Yeah.
So it's a skill, but it's very important, because it's always those conversations. I mean, you gave an example of people that you know what it is. I bet that a lot of people don't speak
To them that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when someone actually takes the time and does it, it hits home and they remember it. Like, oh no, man, I remember what you told me.
Yeah. I
Like-
think if I remember correctly, I told him, like, don't even do it for you. Do it for your son.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause one day he's going to need you. And we don't know what comes tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
know? But the last thing I would want is to get a phone call from him saying, yo, my dad passed away, and me tell him, oh, he canceled his insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I remember clearly telling him that, and he would always follow up with me every year.
He'd call you.
He'll randomly just text me, hey, Victor, how are you doing? And I'll be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I had that mindset where I was like, oh, here he goes. He's going to cancel. He's going to
Right,
cancel.
right.
Right.
I don't care anymore. Just cancel it.
But to answer your previous question about do you go back for those people and try to like steer them this way? What I've learned is that the biggest thing we can do for them is be an example and stay true to our example and let them see our example, how our lives are changing, how are we impacting, and let that decision come from them. Because there was times where I would try to like pour into people, get them to believe and rally up, and they weren't there, mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So
what yeah. No, I was just gonna say, like, another thing is, let us not give up either, because timing is everything. I've learned this not only from clients where, you know what, Marlon, right now is not a good time. I don't have the money. 2 years later, it's the right time.
Right.
But also with us, like, helping our communities, helping our people, our friends that we grew up with, people that we really love and care about. We go way back. Like, one of the realest things I heard one time in college was, in college, I was big when it came to like Christ and really like preaching the gospel. And it reminded me of something I want to talk about as well. How are we doing on time, by the way? We doing good? Cool. I lost my train of thought with the sales. What was I saying?
Gossip. You were doing the gospel?
No, before. Did we all lose it?
Yeah,
we all lost it.
Damn, Bryce.
What was I saying though? What was I?
You're
saying being patient, never letting up.
Yeah.
Timing, because one of the things I heard in college, one guy that this is where it connected, that I was preaching to, I wasn't getting to him.
Mm-hmm.
It was like my mouth wasn't the right mouth for his ears. That's how he put it to me one time. And what we later learned was that, like, it's just he wasn't ready to receive, and I was also delivering it the wrong way.
Okay.
So, I think that as we grow and develop, like, I hope and pray that our, communities are doing the same, where they're growing and developing to where, just because they told you no that one time doesn't mean that the next time. Because I think we give up too easily sometimes, and I'm guilty of this. I'll be the first one to put my hand up where, like, a client tells me no. Here you go, Victor. You call them. I give up.
Yeah.
I give up. Maybe I give it to him because, I don't. But I'm really saying I don't want to deal with this person when, it's like we lack understanding, patience. But I've seen too many stories, and I'm sure you guys are probably thinking of people right now where you've talked to before and it didn't make sense, but later on it's like, you know what? You're right, because things change.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of I was watching all of your reels, bro. Like I went down the street to watch some tacos, and you talk about how you want to revisit your policies every so often.
Right.
Maybe you have, new babies now. Maybe you're married now. Maybe you got a new house now. Like, timing, things change, people change. That's why we got to continue to follow up.
Right. Which you guys kind of wanted to talk about AI.
I was gonna ask you about that.
But we're such emotional beings that sometimes we give up or we take things personal, when we shouldn't. Because people are going through shit, just like we go through shit.
Right.
It's like, oh, freaking aunt, like, how could she tell me no?
Right.
But little do you know that your Aunt Birdie's putting any money to feed her kids,
Right.
And it has
Or
nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Right.
So the best thing about artificial intelligence, so I built out a CRM, where I plug people in a workflow. I have like a 35-day follow up, whether they say no,
Automatic.
whether they do this, and it's like at the same time every day a message goes out.
Yeah.
So it allows you to take out the emotions of the relationship and transaction to be able to just be consistent, follow up, be disciplined,
Do the job.
and then before you know it, it's like, yeah, I'm ready.
Right.
That's man, I love how you put that.
Let me ask
I've
you.
never seen it that way.
Let me ask you a question, man. I love that we're starting to touch on this here because I'm intrigued on this. But how do you feel AI is changing the game now in the insurance industry? Because back then we didn't have that.
Yeah.
So we had to pound the phones every day, take the rejection, and I don't even know why we never thought of that back then.
Yeah.
You know, just build a system that could send out messages, and that right there saves us time, saves us headaches, and we can focus on other things, right? Because I have a CRM as well that sends out messages, and sometimes I get excited when I get a response like, "Oh, I'm ready," or "Call me now," or this and that. But at that same time, I'm doing other things. You know, I'm not right there just banging the phones or things like that. So how do you feel, you know, as being in the game now, obviously not having that, having it now, how much of that is a game changer?
Bro, AI is here, and it's here to take over.
Yep.
Like you talked about before, it was like you got to drive. Like, bro, I haven't driven this far, and
You forgot how to drive.
yeah, bro. Like, So before it was kitchen table appointments,
Right.
drive to an appointment 45 minutes,
Right.
hoping they're there.
Yeah.
Hey, can we go to your kitchen table, please?
Yes. So
right here in the couch.
now it's telesales, but even better than that, I mean, you got platforms like Ethos
Yeah.
and Policy Genius and all these companies that
Insurance toolkit.
literally within 5 minutes they got an application process accepted, clients covered, and then the policies in their email within 10
Everybody
minutes.
wins.
Yeah.
So that's what AI is, bro. And the thing about business is that it's hard to do. Sometimes you're brought into business, but they don't actually teach you the structure of how to run the business.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to be your own boss, control your own schedule, and make as much money as you
Here are
want.
the products.
Right.
Figure it
And
out.
yeah, but there's so
agree.
many
Variables.
facets and factors and variables to running a business. I've been heavy on AI for the past 16 weeks. That literally one of the things that takes most of our time is making the phone calls.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's systems and artificial intelligent platforms that allows us to just delegate the phone calls fully, bro. So I have a guy that I'm learning from. His name Billy Jean.
This is the guy I'm learning from.
Billie Jean.
Billy
is
Jean.
not
And this guy is just heavy on AI. I go to his studio every Tuesday in San Diego, and this guy literally runs his sales calls, and he has an artificial intelligence person to basically qualify the person or the prospect, and then he sets an appointment with another AI person to close the sale.
Wow.
See, that's what I'm trying to. That's where my concern is. How well can AI actually understand someone's needs? Because okay, you just said it. Like, the good thing about AI is there's no emotions. So as far as getting the job done and being consistent,
Right.
I don't think we'll ever beat AI because we have emotions.
Right.
So when it comes to the selling the part, to the selling part, figuring out someone's needs, having that emotional connection, how does that go?
So when it comes to what we do, a lot of the times, especially with generating your leads, like when you get referrals, it's a little bit easier. But when you generate your own leads, like you don't have much information other than I ask for full name, email,
Address?
phone number, and then state they live in. That's all I ask for.
Yeah.
So when I call them, I don't know much about them. So then you're spending 15 minutes of that phone call to find out that
Trying to
they're
get to know them and
on,
qualifying them.
they're on dialysis, they're on insulin, stuff like that.
And some of them are not truthful as well.
Yeah. So it's different for every industry, but I think how we're able to double down and implement it is like I also have a VA dialing, and she's in the Philippines. And sometimes that language isn't, sometimes because of how they hear her, it's like, oh, it's a scam, you know?
Right. You're not from here.
Yeah. So now being able to use AI as a way to qualify the appointment And the best thing about AI is that it could become a pro if you give it the right prompts and you educate it properly to do what you want. So it's just like, hey, within these parameters, act this way, ask for this information, and your goal is just to qualify, get this information, and then you take over and do the rest.
Okay, got you. So it's not fully AI, but most of the
Majority, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
You still got to get on the phone and do the final thing.
For the okay, got you. That makes sense. So it's a perfect 1-2 punch.
Correct.
Yeah.
For me, that was a game changer. You know, that was something that I learned this year that I didn't know about last year. And, you know, when I got started, or we're just stuck in the traditional way of calling, going to the homes, all that. I love the fact that I could sit down in my home, make a phone call on my laptop, and just close the sale now. Right. Where I don't, just like you said, I don't even go out like that anymore, right? So it's definitely a game changer for us, and I feel like COVID had a big thing to do with that.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, a lot of people, you know, we couldn't go to work or drive or things that go outside, but that right there, we were able to get innovative with stuff like that, with AI and Zoom and things like that. So what's your advice to some agents that might be stuck in the old ways, you know?
Go work with you?
Yeah. When I started in the industry, bro, I was 19. The guy that recruited me, the upline, he had been in the business since 1996, bro.
I was 4 years old.
I was one.
So he was, how I got introduced and trained, they said, Luis, the only way you can get more clients is through, number one, your warm market, but that was all gone. 2, cold market prospecting.
Right.
So just go knock on doors, turn strangers into friends, go to gas stations, malls, and just talk to people.
Yep.
Which to a certain extent could work, you know?
Right.
It still works,
Yeah.
by the way.
But in order to scale and grow, it's fucking hard.
That's what we say. Yeah. That's what we say. Like that's always gonna work. Referrals, prospecting, it's always gonna work. As it's what it is it's a lot more work.
Right.
It's more demanding. People don't want to do it, but it does work. We've all had success from it.
Right.
But I like what you said, because I believe the same thing when it comes to consistency, scaling, and when it comes to speed. That's where the difference is made. Right. Where it takes these people a lot longer to achieve certain levels, whereas, you know, having systems like AI, having leads, having different products, it's just more.
Yeah, bro. So I was out prospecting one day, and I said, man, I'm over this, bro. Like, is there ever a fucking, like, when are these results eventually going to kick in, you know? I was on Instagram.
I used to be at Walmart.
I'm getting memories right now.
So I was on Instagram, bro. And then a friend, Neil Holm, posted, he's in the mortgage industry. He posted a video. He said, man, instead of prospecting, going out to malls and grocery stores to hopefully get 10 contacts in a 10-hour period, I'd rather just post a reel and shake 1,000 people's hand at the same time. And I said, that's it.
That's how you made the switch?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, because I can tell, bro, like you're I mean, shout out to your sister. She does a great job for your editing and stuff, but you've got a good presence on there.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, like I can tell you've been doing it for, how long has it been now since you made that jump?
We've been going at it for 1.5 years, 2 years.
That's pretty good.
How long did it take for you to start getting comfortable with the camera and expressing yourself?
It's a natural, bro. Just look at his face. You know?
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because I could tell that in the beginning that you're more of an introvert.
Yeah.
I could tell that, you know, you come off a little shy at first and all that. But obviously you had to build that confidence. And, you know, I feel like I'm still building my confidence being on camera. You know, so how did you work on that, or how long did it take for you to start gaining that confidence?
I operate a lot by this quote. If you do good for people, especially if you provide a service that makes an impact to people, and you're not telling everybody about it, you're being selfish.
True.
So I had to stop being selfish about, I'm that shy kid from high school that would just sit in the back, that wouldn't go, bro, I probably went to one high school dance or just one dance overall in school. Yeah. From freaking elementary to
not
high
much
school,
of a dancer?
Nah, bro.
Can't really.
A trip on my own freaking.
Me too.
So I had to stop being selfish about who I was, because I had a bigger purpose, and I was in the business where it was about business and people and making an impact for others.
So you started looking at everybody else instead of you.
Yeah.
That's huge. You hear that everywhere. Like, it's not about you.
Right.
It's about, but it's hard. It's hard, right? Yeah. Because like we see ourselves on the camera and it's like, damn, did I sound good? Right. Did my words and
I think we were actually talking about
we've talked about that, like,
I'm my biggest critic. Like, we have 2 episodes out on the podcast, and there's times where I hear my voice, I'm like, I don't want to hear it, But I gotta work on me. I gotta get better, and I know areas that I can improve on.
Yeah.
So I'm my biggest critic. I'm like, okay, I could improve in here, and then I have my sister. She kind of gives me her feedback, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it, but you're right, So it's exposing yourself again and learning.
And I think also, bro, is that people are too stuck in their head criticizing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That they're not even thinking about Victor and he said something incorrectly.
Right.
What a freaking idiot.
We think,
like, bro, when I see your guys' podcast, it's like, hell yeah, bro, like, that's fucking inspiring.
Right.
Like, they're fucking doing it.
One of my things, and for anybody that wants to start a podcast or whatever, industry or product you're selling, like, go for it. Because one of the things that I really appreciate is what we've talked about is seeing the development in people. Like, damn, you suck, bro, when you started.
You look at your first,
but you're amazing now. Right. And to one of my favorite things, that I always get caught. They catch me every time, like Instagram, all the algorithms, they know this is my weakness. But like before and after pictures of like the gym.
Yeah.
Fat boys, fat girls, like, and then they're shredded. Yeah. That's always gonna catch. For me, it's like, damn, what did you do?
Right.
What'd you eat? So it's the same thing here. It's like, it's a journey. Mm-hmm. Nobody's perfect. Even the Joe Rogans, even the, the Russell Brands. Everybody makes a mistake. Yeah, and but Hermosi talks about how, like, you suck in the beginning and it's okay. You're supposed to. Mm-hmm. You've never done this before. This is brand new. Like, oh, there's a camera. Do I smile? You're gonna be weird. You're gonna be awkward. True story, man. This would be fun if we can find this. The first time, I wish Albert was here right now, but he could testify. I sat in this chair. The first time I ever did a podcast, bro. I was right here. Albert was there, and there's somebody else here. The first time ever, bro, I choked. You talk about that Eminem song, the what's that? You got one shot, whatever. Yeah, that thing. Yeah. Like where we talked about choking. That was me. I literally, bro, my mouth got so dry. Marlon, what do you think? Do you have water? like, bro, real talk. If we could find that, that'd be so funny. I wouldn't mind sharing that. That's killed funny. Me. Yeah. I was like, that was so embarrassing. I'm never doing this shit again. Yeah. But we all, like, here you are, bro. Yeah, here I am. Like, fucking, I got my water. I'm ready. Yeah. It's not gonna happen again. But
no wonder he was giving. No wonder he was giving us water.
Yeah, it's just you just gotta go for it. You gotta start and believe in yourself.
I appreciate that feedback because kind of going back to what I was saying there is that I'm my biggest critic and I know my weaknesses and where I could get better. And sometimes I'm in my own head. But so far the feedback has been so great. Like I've only received positive. Critics or whatever you call it.
It's like you said, like we think people are thinking about us. Yeah. They don't really care.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I think you brought up Hermosi. But another great example that I learned from is Mr. Beast, bro.
Mr. Beast, the YouTuber?
Oh,
guy. Yeah.
Like, see his, pull up his first video, bro. Like,
even now,
Even now,
no offense, I like Mr. Beast, but you wouldn't think he's that guy.
He's that,
Yeah.
Who is he? I don't even know who he is.
YouTuber.
I'll check him out.
He's a famous YouTuber, just crazy stunts.
I'm barely learning who like these YouTubers are, like these big timers. Like,
no, there's a lot of money to be made, man. Yeah, a lot of monetizing, crazy. Brother. To wrap things up, man, what? I think Victor asked you earlier, but to that young person, doesn't have life insurance, wants to maybe get into business for themselves, be self-employed, you know, you being in the game 9 years,
Right.
you know, you're successful, you're doing good, you're only gonna get better. What would you say? What would you say to your younger version of you? 19.
Fuck, bro, I might cry.
And well, you know, Luis is right 9. Like, what would you, you know?
Yeah.
I have tissues if you.
Yeah, nah. I jokingly say that, but it gets me a little emotional because I spent a whole year in the room going to trainings every Saturday morning. People thought I didn't speak, bro.
You were quiet.
Legit. I was sitting in one corner, right hand side of the room. People thought I couldn't talk. So eventually, bro, I spent till to this day 90% of my time is developing myself. But if I'm not listening to a podcast or just reading something, learning something, I'll go crazy, bro. I recently had to go pick up my kids in fucking traffic at 4 p.m. Like, it's the worst idea. My wife came up with to go pick up my kids. And I had to give my son my phone because he was crying. Because when I'm driving, bro, it's either I'm on the phone call with someone or I'm learning something.
Yeah.
So my phone was taken up. So I was going crazy, bro. So self-developing is the best thing you can do.
Right.
There's no greater return than working on yourself and investing in yourself, bro.
I agree.
Who I am today, bro, if I look back and people today see me from high school and they're like,
they won't recognize you.
like-
This isn't him.
yeah, bro.
Different person.
And I wouldn't change anything. I made so many mistakes, bro. Part of my success that has taken some time is because I've made a lot of mistakes. And I don't regret anything. The best thing to do is start. They say you don't have to be great
To
start, but you just got to start to be great. That's what it is, bro. And it's knowing the right people. All the information now I know, it's that it's the right relationships.
Right.
Being in the right rooms. They say trial and error is the language of the poor. And now you got to invest and you got to make a lot of money to just build the right relationships.
I agree.
Because it goes back to money's a game. There's a contributor side and the creator side. I got to get here as soon as possible because I got a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old that's watching me. And I got to be the right example. And as long as I'm investing in myself and putting in the work every single day,
you're going to get there.
Fruits are going to come out of that, bro.
Amen to that.
Amen. I love
That's
that,
deep.
bro. I love that you touch on all that, man. And, you know, obviously wishing you the best success and all that.
Same for you guys.
Thank
I
you,
have
brother.
one question, though, before we wrap up. Obviously, going from where you started in insurance to owning your own practice now, what made you, you know, decide to do that? You know, being where you were at and saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to start my own practice now and be my own brand.
Yeah. I'm doubling down on personal brand, bro. And one of the biggest things I can give all your audience and yourself is do that. Because I recently heard this from one of my mentors is that the first trillionaire will be a personal brand. People like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, people like that. So just working on my personal brand. I did it because the opportunity came up, the right relationships like I was talking about. I don't have a huge team. I'm still kind of, like now, I'm learning a lot about AI, software, and stuff like that. They say that the 5 assets you should own is one, software, personal brand, crypto, land, and cash. So I'm focused on those 5 things. And I know that who Luis needs to be is going to make a bigger impact as I focus on myself, be my true self, and just put it out there for the world to see.
I love that, man. You know, and it goes back to what you said about being unselfish.
Yeah,
you know, because all this investment that you're doing on yourself, you're gonna be able to pay it back to the road. And for our viewers here as well, they're gonna be able to learn from you, man.
Yeah, bro.
I love that. And
what you guys are doing is truly inspiring, bro. Like,
thank you, bro.
not everybody has the courage to just take that first step. And whatever it is, bro, business, weight loss, fucking.
yeah.
Oh, we know, bro. I mean, we laugh about it. We didn't have a name.
Yeah.
We came here. It's like, all right.
We started recording before we had a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just.
We'll
I don't want
probably
to say
have
we
a
winged
different
it.
name next week, to be honest. Nah, we got the name down.
But I
MarVic,
think
I like it.
for Marlon and I, you know, I think we know what failure is, and we're not afraid of it. You know, we're gonna take as many shots as we can, and you know, my vision with this podcast and everything, and I was talking to Marlon about it yesterday, was like, dude, there's so many people out there with small businesses, right? That they all got a story.
Yeah.
Just like we all got a story,
Right.
right? Let's give them the platform where they could share that story, their
Yeah.
journey, how they got to where they're at, and why they're striving today.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, there's a lot of wisdom from that journey, failures that they've had, things that they had to overcome. And for me, that's inspiring. I love hearing those stories, and you know, like, damn, you went through that too, because I was there too. Like, oh shit, how'd you overcome it? I didn't think I was gonna overcome it. So I think there's a lot of things that we can learn from each other. And my biggest thing is coming together, uniting, and really, you know, giving value to the people. So
Yeah, bro.
that's my vision with the podcast, and you know, giving everybody their platform to speak, share their knowledge, and come together and work together.
Yeah. And here's the thing. At the moment, I'm reading Courage is Calling by Ryan Holiday. And I think there's no better time for people to be courageous and stand up for what they believe, and just, once again, take that first step on what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But also bringing it back to what you said, creating a platform where, like, I've done like 3 episodes. I don't even have a podcast name, bro, but I'm just recording and
There it is.
and building the relationships.
You're on the
bro.
right
Like,
track. Yeah.
and it's people need what we do is great. What other people do is great, and they need to be heard. We need to tell our stories.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
I'm putting in my mi granito de arena, you know.
Your contribution.
Love that.
And we need you, bro.
Yeah.
Just like people need us. I mean, the truth is that you know people that we don't.
Yeah.
Your voice is going to touch people that we can't touch because we don't know them. Like you said, relationships. So I agree with that. Everybody should, you know, definitely, you know, fight for what they believe in. For us, for me, I was thinking about what he was saying, and it's like, you know, we don't really know what we're doing. We don't. but it's, one, it's fun. But 2, it's like, you know what I do know? I do know that when you go hard at something, you believe in it, you have a right team, you will make it. Because, see, now I think all 3 of us can say, like, you know, we're reminiscing. We're talking about when we first started the battle. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Now we're in a place like we made it.
Right.
We're here, and now we need to bring more people. And so what I learned in my insurance journey, I'm going to do the same thing with the podcast. I'm going to do the same thing with these other businesses. I'm going to do, like, work your ass off.
Yeah.
Believe.
My biggest thing was this, man, is that back then nobody gave us a platform. You know, like, nobody ever invested into us.
Yeah.
And, you know, partnering up with Marlon, I feel like we got similar visions, and we're both very selfless. So it's like, yo, let's give people a platform. You know, nobody ever gave us a platform. Nobody ever said, hey, yo, Vic, here's some money to start this and that. You know, nobody ever did that for us. We really had to go out there and grind our asses off. And my mindset is like, yo, let's give people a platform. Let's expose them more. The more I help you, the more I can help myself as well. So for me, I look at it as a win-win situation for everybody. And, you know, hopefully we could bring more value to people as well. And
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I do want to tell you, man, you know, you talking about you were in the corner. No, people thought you couldn't speak.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
I would have never known that. And I'm sharing that with you because I hope I'm sure you know, but like, bro, you've come a long way.
Right.
And I didn't know you back then, but just hearing that and seeing how emotional you got, I pictured that.
Yeah.
Bro.
And we've all been there. We're like, we don't want to speak up. We're gonna sound dumb, or I don't know how to talk in front of people. But like, you're doing great, bro. You're doing great, and I mean that. Like, I would have never known unless you shared that.
Yeah.
That's just part of your journey. So.
And Luis, that's the beautiful thing about this journey. You know, when you look back and you see who you were and now who you are, and you realize that, you know, like, who you are today is not going to be the person that makes $1 million tomorrow. Correct. You still got to grow. There's still challenges for us to overcome. There's still things for us to learn. And for me, that's the beautiful part about it. The money, byproduct.
Right.
It's a byproduct. It's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
But who we become, the example we set in the future, priceless.
Right.
You know, our kids. Brian said it, and I love when we had Brian here. He said, I want my kids to hang up a poster of me. I want to be the heroes to my kids, right? So it had me thinking, because I'm like, damn, you know, there's Batman, there's Superman. why can't we be
Cantinflas.
no why can't we be that man?
Yeah,
you know, that person to our kids. Where
We can be.
forget Batman, forget Superman. We're that man. Yeah,
Grandpa Vic. Yeah,
Big, bro.
for real.
definitely.
Nah, brother. Appreciate you,
Nah,
man.
appreciate you
Appreciate
guys,
your
man.
time. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
through.
Great.
Vic,
Yes, sir.
guys, thank you so
Dale.
much. Bryce, Shay, right? Thank you in the background.
Behind
Her
the cameras,
her
Bryce.
sister.
Everybody
Thank you,
behind the
Bryce.
cameras. Thank you.
We'll
guys
see y'all
for the
next
time.
week.
guys.
Thanks, guys.